Hello, this is Bob, and I'm kind of time traveling from the future, you see. Because I have started my Xenosaga episode 3 Let's Play, kind of, in terms of recording. And I was reminded that I forgot about something. Something called A Missing Year, which one very kind viewer, Mr. Saber Hazari, hope I'm saying that right, informed me about. I have also checked what exactly it is, and it is something that was released on the Japanese Namco website between the releases. And was never officially translated. I'm watching this on YouTube. I believe the channel is called Mr. RPG Crazy. Let me actually... these videos are hosted on the channel Mr. RPG Crazy, which I'm gonna try to remember to link in the description. And I have decided that I'm just gonna watch these together with you guys in preparation for the actual Let's Play, which is going to start with me knowing nothing about this. And then I'm gonna open up the database and because I'm confused about a bunch of characters, and then I'm gonna be like, oh right, wasn't there something else I was supposed to look at that I totally forgot about? And there is. And it's this. Hopefully I can view this and it will be somehow entertaining. This is mostly for me, mostly so I know what the fuck is happening when we play episode 3. I'm just gonna hit the thing, and hopefully this will be something to view. That cursor is not mine. This is my cursor. Check it out, we're touching cursors. Hopefully that cursor... I don't think that cursor hangs around. I skipped forward just to see what it is, and it's a bunch of text. I might pause, we'll see. But for now, I'm just gonna watch, and I'm gonna read, and we're gonna learn what happened between episode 2 and episode 3 of Xenosaga. 4767. It's like when everything happens, right? Oh, this is the don't worry about the quality. As long as we can read, it's fine. Approximately 1 year after our farewell at the spaceport. Since then, I've begun working with an organization called Scientia. We're currently attempting to break into Vector's most important control domains, which is at the heart of the UMN. This is the very beginning of episode 3. Something happened which prompted me to quit my job at Vector and collaborate with the Scientia. Phenomenon was called Gnosis terrorism. Though it involved me and many people who were close to me, everyone, whether involved or not, was left with a feeling of uneasiness and suspicion. Couldn't shake my own suspicions, and the tensions in my mind kept mounting, so without even saying goodbye to Cosmos, I decided to leave Vector. Just had to see with my own eyes once more the sealed fragment of truth. Errare humanum est. Oh, that looks like it's from episode 3. This is a free fan sub. Verdant Studios production. Shout out to them too. Anyone who takes the time to do a translation of a Japan-only release, or just something that didn't come out in all regions, you guys are heroes, and I love you. After the space-time anomaly in Milchan space caused by albedo had closed up, I returned to my usual duties as development chief at Vector. Before I had traveled to 2nd Miltia, a new 3rd Division Annex Office Head position had been established. My appointment to it added a stable, although brief, routine to my life. I spent every day filing mountains of paperwork, which chronicled the events from the attack of the Voglinde to the appearance of Abel's Ark over Milchan space. Right, Abel's Ark is important. During this time, the Gnosis threat intensified and expanded its range, bringing about heavy damage to some of the planet's infiltration. I also think that at this time I began to feel as if the Gnosis threat was someone else's duty. Then 6 months later, I learned that my brother Jin, whom I had said farewell to at the spaceport, had been commissioned to contact the subcommittee by the contact subcommittee, which is what Yuli Mizrahi works for, to investigate the Gnosis attack incidents. The subcommittee report on the Gnosis attack incidents. From the contact subcommittee's inquiry into the Gnosis attack incidents. At the present time, there has been no correlation discovered in the numerous attacks. However, several mysterious factors regarding Gnosis activities have been discovered. The attacks are focused on highly populated urban centers, giving rise to the possibility that the Gnosis are targeting civilians. There is a consistent pattern in the attacks, which leads us to believe that the Gnosis focus is not simple destruction. Within a set time frame following the attacks, all of the Gnosis completely disappear. In consideration of these facts, we have determined that the Gnosis are acting as if they are being controlled by someone. In addition, at the latest attack incident, we confirmed the presence of a mysterious boy who is presumably acting together with the Gnosis and a 100 Sirius Realian that he Gnosified. The boy's words lead us to believe that a character called Grimoire may be deeply connected in this case. And I kind of heard that name before because like I said, I started up episode 3 and that name is in the database of that game. And one of the reasons I got confused. Though the hypothesis seems far-fetched, if we can confirm the existence of a leader who commands the Gnosis, it will give us the breakthrough that we need. Indeed. Grimoire's little girl. Within the one called Grimoire's little girl, a Realian we have been sheltering, and once again, I also did read like the short summary of what happened in between. So this is not entirely new to me. You'll see once we get there in the second part of my episode 3 Let's Play. I believe the little girl was referred to as Nephilim, which is interesting because Nephilim is also something else in this world. Built by the UTIC organization 14 years ago. However, since no records about that time remain from then, we are unsure if she is the same kind of Realian. Even within the girl's memory banks, nearly all of the records have been deleted. Of the fragments of her memory that remain, we can find no leads to any important information on the Gnosis incidents. We originally assumed that the Milesian conflict from 14 years ago was a cause of the memory loss. However, there is evidence that the records have been artificially modified, and we think this is directly connected to the girl's recent activity. The Gnosis attack incidents. At first everyone thought they were merely an extension of the frequent and ongoing Gnosis phenomenon events. In my case, if I hadn't known that my brother was involved in the incidents, I might have never found the truth either. But Julie was quick to realize how strange the incidents were. As she continued the investigation of the incidents with Jen and the others, she caught hold of a very important clue. The girl she had been sheltering was an eyewitness to one of the incidents. An investigation on the girl was initiated by the subcommittee, and in the end, they were able to establish that she was a special type of Realian and had been built for an unknown purpose. The subcommittee's report was sent to Vector, and the 3rd Division began to give support to the investigation of the Realian. As an anti-Gnosis battle advisor, I also participated in the investigations, but when I saw the 3rd Division's findings on the girl, which they had submitted as reference data, I was left speechless. The girl had come from the same series of Realians that Joachim Mizrahi produced 14 years ago. Furthermore, no records of her being manufactured existed. There was no mistaking that this girl was deeply connected to these incidents. I think my realization of that prompted my heart's denial that the girl existed. I was afraid that a connection to her would destroy the semblance of stability that I gained. However, when I received an urgent communication from the subcommittee, those hesitations turned to anxieties. The incidents had escalated into a state of emergency. Shion's life has not been easy this last year and then some. Hey, Cosmos. Well, voice acted. I've also seen this character in the opening, one of the first cutscenes of episode 3. I think her name was Doctus. Grimoire no Shoujo.
ではこちらも本気で行くわ。
Is this Shion's, like, voice actor from the game?
大丈夫ですか、シオン。
兄さん、あの子。残念だけれど連れ去られたわ。
Gonna have to assume that these are the
諦めるのはまだ早いでしょう。
game voice actors as well, but I'm not sure. There was a Gnosis attack on the subcommittee's lab. Because of this, we became convinced that the shelter girl held the key to unlock the mysteries of these incidents. I received a hurried request from the subcommittee to take Cosmos and rescue the survivors. Together with an army of eggs, we successfully infiltrated the lab and rescued Julie, the girl, and my brother, all of whom were unharmed. However, as we were trying to escape from the facility, a mysterious agent named Doctus appeared. She was affiliated with the anti-UMN organization known as Scientia. To my surprise, Doctus managed to damage Cosmos and kidnap the girl right before our very eyes. You know what this feels like? This feels like it was probably supposed to be in a game that never happened. That is my guess. My guess is that because of the way these games were made and released, all these ideas just didn't have time to become a real game. Unfortunately. To be continued. All these people, heroes. This is episode 2 of A Missing Year. Is she just like kung fu fighting Cosmos and winning? That's crazy. After destroying Cosmos, Doctor snatched the little girl away. My brother, by his own account, also withstood her attack at the scene of the Gnosis incident. Who is this? This character? It's not Shion, is it? It could be, I don't know. But why did she pursue the little girl so persistently? Doctors called her Grimoire's little girl. From the fact, it was obvious that Doctus possessed some kind of information about her past. I desperately tried to find the connection between the recent incident and the girl by studying Julie's report. At this time, I sensed that my own uneasiness toward the girl was beginning to fade. Again, this is a fan translation. Fan translators are great. I love fan translators. I love when I can play video games that were not released in my region or even in English, or let alone in a language I understand. It was Grimoire's little girl who was saved, but her body composition bore a resemblance to a special type of realin that was manufactured by the UTIC organization 14 years ago. However, because the records from that time period pertaining to this type of realin no longer existed, it was impossible to determine whether she was the same type or not. Nearly all of the data in her memory banks had been deleted as well. Due to the fragmented nature of the remaining memories, I was unable to extract any important information about the incident. We originally assumed that the Milesian conflict 14 years ago might have been the cause of the memory loss. However, there was evidence that the records had been artificially modified, and we thought this was directly connected to the girl's recent activity. That's the same that was in the last one. Ah, Gnosis. Lemegeton, the Gnosis summoning program manufactured by Grimoire Verum. Ah, because see, I read that in the little summary in the episode 3 database, but it wasn't really explained what it was. But here we have that little definition. The Gnosis summoning program manufactured by Grimoire Verum. Although it seems strange to tell us about this right now. Oh well. By sending out a special wavelength, this program makes it possible to interfere with the behavior of the Gnosis. Several thousand years ago, it was used by researchers to observe the relationship between the Zohar and the Gnosis. However, the experiment failed, causing the space-time anomaly responsible for the disappearance of Lost Jerusalem.
Really?
Several thousand years ago. Because like Xenosaga, the games, the episodes take place like 4,000 years into the future, 4,700 and whatever. which is after the discovery of the Zohar in Kenya at the very beginning of the first game.
メトンの談笑。
ある種のプログラムの断片よ。
Uh,
ただ、
ただ、
これにはグノーシスへ干渉し、出現を促す効果があるの。
so sorry, they're speaking while there's also things left to read. Lemegeton itself was recovered by Vector when they escaped lost to Jerusalem and had been safeguarded by them ever since. But when Project Zohar was invoked, it was handed over to the Mizrahi Cerebral Sciences Research Facility, MXRF for short. The program was restored by Professor Joachim Mizrahi, who uses as the basis for the Song of Nephilim device. Ooh, this is important. That's a big connection. According to Julie Mizrahi, the program was at one time restored and implanted into the synthetic brain of a special type of reality test subject, whereupon research was conducted on the management of Lemegeton and the regulation of its waves. However, no research... Oh, wait! Is it the thing from the end of episode 2 that... Oh, my memory is so fucking bad, dude. Wasn't there something at the end of episode 2 about, like, a wave that could, like, influence gnosis somehow? I can't remember, I'm sorry. We'll piece everything together eventually. However, no research records remain, so we could not confirm this data. Oh, that was the thingy.
このプログラムはロストエルサレム時代に開発されたものよ。ただ、14年前の紛争により、いくつかの断片となって UMN に消えてしまった。
Into the what?
開発
Oh, the...
グリモア・ベルム。
グリモ
そんなことありえないわ。数千年を生きる人間など存在しないわ。
don't exist. Sonsai Shinayo. I know a little bit of Japanese. There's some subtitles that are disappearing at the bottom of the screen, unfortunately. I'll try and pick up as much as possible. Grimar Verum, Chief Technician of Vector's Zohar Research Project and the programmer that manufactured the Gnosis Summoning Project Lemegeton. All other personnel is unknown, as it thought have been lost when Lost Jerusalem disappeared. It is assumed he died at that time. By using his own daughter as a test subject for Lemegeton, he was able to complete the Gnosis Summoning program. However, an incident occurred. During the experiment. That experiment caused the Zohar to go out of control. Grimoire is considered to be responsible for the space-time anomaly, which in turn was responsible for the disappearance of Lost Jerusalem. Oh! He's a big deal. Big deal. There was the character called Grimoire, who was connected to the recent Gnosis attacks. There was the person named Grimoire who constructed the Lemegeton program, which was restored by Joachim Mizrahi 14 years ago. And there was the Realian known as Grimoire's little girl. Despite the vagueness of each of these sources, we began to link all three pieces into one whole. Julie and my brother had taken up the charge of rescuing the girl. Julie in particular desperately tried to save her. Perhaps the Realian girl simply reminds her of a Momo. I, however, was still uncertain as to whether I should get involved in the girl's rescue or not. I perused the report that Jen had filed on the girl after the attack incident. In the report I saw a very familiar name. Nephilim?
グリモアの少女か。あなたは一体。
違う。私はネピリム。
There we go. Big deal. At the scene of the attack, the girl called Grimoire's little girl was saved. Although there was no obvious external wound, she seemed to have lost her memory and didn't remember anything other than her own name. Although it was thought to be a temporary due to shock of the incident, a professional diagnosis also seemed necessary. Besides, there was a few strange points concerning the girl. The girl was being pursued by several people, each calling her Grimoire's little girl. She, however, denies that name, introducing herself as Nephilim, seeking help from a person she calls Grimoire. She had major differences from the characteristics of the Nephilim that I had previously come to know. It was difficult to imagine that she was the same person. In addition, it was unknown what kind of relationship existed between her and the person called Grimoire, who was thought to be connected to the attack incidents.
彼女のデータから情報を得ることはできなかったのですか。
残念なことに、彼女の記憶、つまり過去のデータだけど、全て人為的に破棄されているのよ。
記憶がない。では、自分をネピリムと名乗った。
And there's the Nephilim we
その
know.
情報は比較的新しいものよ。 誰か第三者の手によってインプットされたものなのは間違いないわ。
So I guess this is Shion in the bottom right there. The illusionary girl who often appeared before me, and now the kidnapped girl calling herself Nephilim. What kind of connection was there between Nephilim I knew and this girl? If the girl had a connection with Nephilim in the Milchan conflict 14 years ago, then she must surely have had a connection to me as well. And there was the agent called Doctus who pursued the girl. She might also have had information on the girl and Nephilim. Let me see. Regarding the female agent who attacked Grimoire's little girl. Because of the way she handled her body and equipment, it could be surmised that she had received special training. I kind of know that in episode 3, she is like piloting a remote android body. That might actually be why she can go toe-to-toe with Cosmos. Still, the reason why she pursued the life of the girl was unknown. Also, we didn't know whether or not she acted on her own or as part of an organization. From the fact that she called the girl Grimoire's little girl, it was guessed that there was a connection between her and Grimoire Verum or whatever it said. It's fine. After I read this report, Jin told me about his encounter. Hmm.
あなたもグリモーを。
その少女、こちらに引き渡して。
いきなり発砲とは穏やかじゃないな。
次は外さないよ。
I won't miss.
この子の保護者という感じではなさそうですね。
メディオトゥティシム。
The middle path is the safest one. Medio tutissimus ibis.
グリモアの少女、あなたの手に余る代物よ。
なるほど。
What did she say?
あの少女、あなたの手に余る代物よ。
なる。
Like too much for your hands.
なるほど。命を狙われるには十分すぎる理由だ。
そのひょうひょうとした態度、鼻につくわね。いいわ。今日のところは引いてあげる。Vive memor mortis.
Live mindful of death.
大丈
She played Persona 3.
夫。もう安全ですよ。
Thank you. We're pressing next. By orders from Vector, the damaged Cosmos was immediately returned to headquarters in order to have her frame upgraded to version 3. I see. Though I was uneasy with Cosmos' absence, it was nothing compared to the uneasiness I had regarding the girl's existence, so I made the decision to help Jin rescue the girl. Meanwhile, Julie used the wavelengths emitted by the girls as a tracking device, and she was successful in calculating the girl's location, causing a resonance with the fragments of limit jet.
小委員会に座標を報告し支援の要請を。中に潜入し少女を取り返します。
Oh? A ship? Having pinpointed the battleship that was thought to hold the girl captive, Jin and I hastily rushed inside before the enemy could notice us. However, we quickly came to realize that our actions had been careless. Yeah, this looks... I don't know if this is from episode 3. I hope not. I hope I'm not spoiling myself on any like gameplay or anything. But I feel like I need this story. Looks like a library. No? This ship... Shoyusha? Is that what he's saying? One more time. So the one part I do understand is the one we got. Like, it's to the taste of... I'm gonna assume the ship's owner or captain or commander, something like that.
ただ不意打ちというのはあまり感心しませんがね。少女を返してもらいましょうか。
It feels like there's supposed to be a whole game with, like this was supposed to be a whole ass game with Doctus as like the main, or like one of the main antagonists.
それは無理な相談ね。
To be continued. Thank you, all of you. There are some errors, but it's still much more than we would have gotten otherwise. Errors in how much is displayed, that is. Episode 3, let's go. Is that how you say it? Scientia? Oh well, it's fine.
名前ぐらい聞いたことがあるだろう。スキエンティア。反 UMN を謳うレジスタンスですね。少女をどうするつもりです。彼女はレメゲトンと深い関わりがある。
Say that so I can.
彼女はレメゲトンと深い
Lemegeton is how he says it. It's probably way off. It's probably just how the Japanese say it, but I'll go with that.
関わりがある。プログラムに関わったぐらいで彼女を殺す理由にはならないでしょう。
Fan translation, let's go. Information on Scientia. The anti-UMN organization formed by the unification of anti-government resistances spread all over the Federation, founded by Melissa Ortiz. With several million members, is currently the largest resistance organization in the Federation. Its members are attempting to bring to light the possible relationship between UMN use and the appearance of the Gnosis. UMN being the Unus Mundus network that is like the basis for faster than light travel in this world. Skillfully using a distinct network, they carry out guerrilla type acts against the UMN administration. Current information on the Maiden of Grimoire. She is a type, the Maiden of Grimoire no Shoujo. Grimoire is a little girl. She is a type of unique Realian that differs from current Realians. Her pupils, which are the most important external characteristics of Realians, were created in a non-conventional manner. We can remark that her traits are similar to the type of Realian created by Professor Misrai during his research for the UTIC organization, which would be the same series as Momo. Her body was used by the same professor for Lemegeton's construction in UTIC's HQ, Labyrinthos. But during... Oh, is it the thing that we saw in Junior's flashbacks in episode 2, maybe? During the Miltian conflict, the data concerning this research, as well as those of the donor, are lost and the details remain unknown. After the conflict, an official publication called for the destruction of all Realians used in this experiments. However, certain information indicates that several childlike Realians remain missing. Scientia. The clandestine organization that denounces the UMN as being dangerous and continues to act on its own will. Why is it so obsessed over this girl? This has, as anticipated, a connection with the Miltian conflict 14 years ago. It was discovered that the Realian was made by Professor Mizrahi and got its hands on information concerning the experiment that used Realian's bodies during the conflict. Furthermore, it's the Lemegeton program that was used for this experiment. Realians made by Professor Joachim Mizrahi. Now I remember, in the past I had developed relationships with 3 Realians, Febronia, Cecily and Keith. We remember them. Cecily and Keith dying in the last game after we found them connected to the Zohar for some weird bullshit. Would it be possible that the Maiden of Grimoire was in the same place as them and that she was used for the UTIC organization's experiments? And yet, until the color of her pupils change, she tries to hide something from us. But what? I don't know. Let me just read this. Someone has been contaminated by Lemegeton by having a fragment implanted in their bodies called Grandi. Currently, only a boy from the Rosen district has been confirmed as a fragment retainer. Also, there are strong chances that the Maiden of Grimoire falls into that case. Turns them into gnosis. Their individual will is kept as so. On its own, the fragment is useless, but if it is placed in the brain, the program contaminates its host by emitting waves and nosifies them. People's conscience is concerned when they become a gnosis. What changes in comparison with classic nosification is that to maintain individual vital functions, individual consciousness is maintained as is. The people in this situation are called fragment retainers. People in this case become capable of controlling waves, and it allows them to direct the calling of the gnosis as they desire. So is she then a gnosis? One of these fragment retainers? Suspicious point about the UMN. 41% of the gnosis responsible for damages or reports by witnesses come from the UMN. Majority of the gnosis apparitions in the real number domain happen through a dive in the UMN. This is a known fact. The fact remains that no true inquiry into the gnosis and the UMN exists currently, although the UMN's control and administration are under the jurisdiction of the Galaxy Federation. This arrangement was entrusted to Vector. In the UMN. Vector is also on the initiative of dealing with damage caused by the gnosis. Although reports on the handling of the damages are sent to the Galaxy Federation, almost everything is done in absolute secrecy, and at the end only one formal report is published. But first of all, what is the UMN? No documents remain about the development of the UMN other than recordings on the basis of its maintenance. Recordings on the installation of transfer columns in the galaxy. Could it be possible that no documents remain other than a network installed during the creation of the Federation? According to these supposed facts, we can only suppose that Vector, although conscious, I assume, of these dangers, would knowingly hide very important information linked to the gnosis and the UMN. In response to that, Vector claims that there are no implications. In-depth investigation seems to be necessary. Vector had a link to the current incidents? I don't want to believe that story. Certainly Vector is responsible for the layout of the UMN. However, to say from there that it is linked to this affair is a big step. You think so, Shion? But there are this girl and Lemegeton, and also actions of the man named Grimoire in the UMN. There's no reason why Vector shouldn't be up to date with this information. Without doubt, it possesses numerous mysteries. I, as a representative of Cosmos, never had information sent back to me. One begins to feel like someone is acting in the shadows. Usually there is. Although I decided not to get attached to Doctor's words, uneasiness began to grow inside me.
我々はこれからグリモアの正体を暴く。うまくいけばベクターが関与している証拠を手に入れることができるだろう。まあゆっくりと見物していってくれ。
Yeah, this definitely feels like it would have been
さっきの話です。
would have been a
で
game.
もまだベクターが絡んでるって決まったわけじゃないし、私は私のできることをやるだけよ。
そうですか。
Jin looks a lot better in this artwork than in his episode 2 model.
グリモアの少女疑似脳への UMN バイパスを形成。
レネゲトンの準備は
UMN へ強制干渉を開始。
Emotional
バイパスの
coercion.
接続を確認。
さて撒いた餌に食いついてくるのはセントマリアの人魚かジェニー・ハニバーか。どっちにしてもまともではないのは確かだがね。
グリモアを名乗る男本当に出てくると思う？
さてどうかな。だが奴には手段を選んでいる余裕などないはずだ。必ず食いついてくる。
I think so.
シナプスの数値安定。
Force
グリ
dive.
モアの少女強制逮捕。
Like what we did with Momo in episode 2, an encephalon dive.
モニターによるトレースを開始。バイパスへの外部データの変装を確認。システムオールグリーン。カウント入ります。5、4、3、2、1。
Scientia's analysis of the girl began. His goal was to get his hand on clues about this man called Grimoire, who seems to be pulling the strings behind the current incidents. The girl seemed less afraid of the pain of the force analysis than she let on, but something else was even more peculiar. When she became aware of my brother's presence, I had the impression... I had the impression that the expression on her face changed slightly. One could have said that she had known him for a long time and that his presence terrified her. Fear and astonishment showed on her face. Jin. Yes, it is certain that she was frightened by the appearance of my brother. We would soon awaken something that had slept inside her. Actually, there was... And that was very unclear in the summary in episode 3's database. There was a mention of Shion's father. Maybe that's what this is going towards. Oh dear.
どうした。
まずい興奮状態を抑えないと。
何事だ。各自へ報告を。主電源および第一主電源予備すべて正常に作動しています。出動開始。バイパスにも問題ありません。
Monday, no problem. Monster. Security must be using something. One more time. The system. Yeah, I can't make out most of that.
つもり。あなたには最初から思い出などないのよ。
そんなことない。忘れているだけ。断証があれば返してもらえるの。
いいように騙されてるのがわからないの。
違う。そんなの嘘。
やめなさい。その子をそれ以上挑発してはいけない。
いや、
There goes the pupils. Which maybe I'm stupid, but I hadn't realized how big of a deal pupils were for Realians.
今行くわ待ってて
シオン、どうしましたシオン。シオン、返事をしてくれ。シオン、シオン。
To be continued. I'm gonna pause real quick. I'm gonna stop the recording and restart so just so I don't lose footage. That would be sad. Let's continue.
そうねあなたは信じてあげるべきよ
There's probably not even a perceptible pause right there. It's just I keep forgetting that time doesn't pass for you when I'm not recording. The maiden Grimoire disappeared right before our eyes following her awakening. Shion, trying to... Oh, we're listening to Jin's narration now. Trying to help her fell unconscious. According to the subcommittee's report, traces of the girl have been found in the UMN, therefore it's possible that Shion's consciousness is forcibly held there. Now the UMN is really hard to wrap my head around, I feel. What exactly, like, it is. Along with Professor Mizrahi, we tried to retrieve it, but not having a single clue in the immensity of the UMN, this was a lost cause. Being unable to do anything else, I had nothing more to do than wait. I could nothing but deplore my uselessness, the same as 14 years ago. Interesting that they're showing her. I can't read all those kanji. Yumani something. Even if it wasn't blurry, I don't think I know them.
ここはアルスノバベクターによって封印された思い出の世界
封印思い出の世界
ここは忌まわしき記憶と悲しき思いの残る場所やがてこの場所にすべての意識が集まる彼女もグリモアもそして少女もこの場所にいる
シオンが
ええグリモアによってこの場所に囚われている
教えてくれどうすれば
人が思いを遂げようとしたとき必ずしも幸せになれると
Are you giving life advice now?
その思いが強いほど他者を不幸にする彼はそのことに気づいていないお願いジングリモアを止めて
Give me a second. Fuck did she say? When a person tries to fulfill their dream, they don't necessarily become happy. This dream can be so strong that it brings misfortune to those. Okay, it kind of makes sense now. So sorry.
グリモアを止めて
Character. Can't read those kanji. You spell it Nepirim? Huh. Oh well. I need to work on my kanji, dude. I can read kana fine, but kanji eludes me. Evelyn contacted me through my consciousness. She informed me that Shion and the girl were being held prisoner by Grimoire. They are in the depths of S Division, a location controlled by Vector and protected by very high-level security. Nephilim asked me to stop Grimoire. I don't know if something happened between them, but now that I know the place where they are being held captive, I have no reason to hesitate. But is this
ネフィル
Nephilim?
もそう言ったの？
ええ。ベクターによって封印されたアルスノバという場所に少女と共に囚われていると。
二人を助けに行くつもり？無茶よ。ベクターの管理する中枢領域なんて政府としても簡単に手を下せる場所ではないわ。
やはり協力してはもらえませんか。
下手なことをすればあなたも私もただでは済まないのよ。
分かっています。無理強いはしませんよ。
ジン、おそらくあの少女はもう助からないわ。それでも
申し訳ないが ES とこの弾章しばらくお借りします。
Your fragment?
参ります。
That's a pretty cool looking mecha. No, don't know what's up with the... Okay. Professor Mizrahi warned me not to interfere with Vector. Considering her position, her reaction was normal and I couldn't blame her for that. However, I couldn't allow myself to abandon them and I had to exploit all the possibilities that were presented to me. This music is pretty cool. Very, like sci-fi Egypt kind of feel. Never hesitated even for a second at the thought of going to save them. However, one thing perturbed me. The Maiden of Grimoire wasn't afraid until she saw me. On her face was the same expression as that day. Anohi. Sonohi? I'm not sure.
状況は
前回前々回の襲撃地と同様に市街地を中心として半径 0.85 キロの範囲に出現。特に大型のものはこの繁華街へ集中しているようです。
妙ですね。まるで何かを探しているようだ。
敵が移動を開始。こちらに気づいたようです。周辺空間の重力偏差に異常、時空間に干渉発生、数は計測不能。
ついてこられますか。
はい。
いい返事です。
I went along with the 100 series Realian towards the location where the noses were concentrated. There we found a boy.
何者？
何者？教えねえよ。ああ、余計なことすんなよな。俺がグリモアに怒られちゃうんだぞ。
グリモ
What a
あいつが見つかんないのも
typical
全部おっさんのせいだかんな。
ア？あいつ
teenager with attitude boy voice to have. Is that... Ah, fuck it.
そうだ、キメだ。こんなのどう？
ボス、何？
Is he a fragment
僕を邪魔した
retainer?
罰だよ。
いける。そんなことをすればあなたの体が。
Thanks to the power of the fragment, the boy manipulated the gnosis. He was probably searching for the Maiden of Grimoire. We would have to face the gnosis that was in our way, but the boy made it touch the Realian and began to nosify. She executed the Hilbert effect and pulled herself into our dimension. With no way to save her, and given that she was completely nosified, there was nothing I could do but destroy her. And had this been made a actual game, that would have been like a boss fight, presumably you would have to do.
危害を加えるつもりはありません。
来ないで。助けて。グリモア。
Scientia talked about Groundis. Alright, Groundis. During my investigation of the Gnosis, I had the opportunity to meet one who nosified my partner, 100 series Realian. At that time, the girl was also afraid. My partner executed the Hilbert effect on herself, which pulled her into her dimension. Isn't this what we just read? The girl saw it all and wasn't frightened by the scene itself, but by me. Ah, that's new. It's likely she wanted to run away from me and didn't want me to rescue her. I must at all costs force myself to forget this so I can concentrate on the rescue. I needed certain equipment to infiltrate the heart of Vector and get by their security. Other than the subcommittee, I saw no other way than to visit this organization. Indeed, only Doctus and her colleagues could help me. If Shion was with me, she would surely yell at me, saying I was irresponsible and rash. But as long as I shared a common interest with Scientia, it was possible that I could work with them. But before Doctus could consider my proposition, there was this conversation. This was Scientia's ship.
どういうつもり？まさか私たちを潰しに来たのかしら。
見ての通り丸腰ですよ。
Sorry, I'm just looking at the bridge here in the background. Looks familiar. Wasn't the bridge on the Voglinde structured similarly? Or am I getting mixed up? I don't know.
見ての通り丸腰ですよ。取引しませんか。私はグリモアの居場所を知っている。そしてそこへ行かなければならない理由がある。その手伝いをお願いしたいんです。すべてが終わった後でグリモアと談笑を引き渡しましょう。
虫のいい話ね。
あなたたちにはダイブの準備を頼みたい。悪い話ではないと思います
が。ダイブ中、あなたの命は我々が握ることになるのよ。そこまで信用してくれるの？
信用するしかありません。他に打つ手がないんでね。
取引に応じなかったら？
それは困ります。その場合のことは考えていなかった。
まったく。そのひょうひょうとした態度。怒りを通り越して呆れるわね。いいわ。取引に応じてあげる。ただし、言うだけの働きはしてもらうわよ。
Complimentary report on Grimoire. First of all, the series of incidents in connection with the fragments were caused by a man called Grimoire Verum. Given that the origin of these unexplained phenomena, as well as the hiding place of the one responsible is in Vector's special maintenance area, there are strong chances that Grimoire Verum himself is there. This music is quite nice. How has he managed to stay alive all this time? That is a mystery. For an unknown reason, possibly linked to the disappearance of Lost Jerusalem, it seems that he has become a spiritual entity that exists within the UMN. We can assume that Vector knows this fact, hides the existence of Grimoire, and holds him in order to reconstruct Lemegeton.
まさかアルスノバとは。これでベクターの関与がはっきりしたわけね。いい？今から UMN に直接干渉をかけ、強制的に突破口を作るわ。そこを通ってアルスノバまで移動する。
了解です。アルスノバの座標は？
そこにグリモアの少女がいるのなら、談笑が共鳴して道案内してくれるわ。当然ベクターの特別管理領域だから全力で潰しに来るわよ。生き残れるかどうかはあなた次第ね。
ご期待に添えるよう努力しますよ。
Up, to be continued. 2 more episodes left.
ここ私助かったの？あなたね。あなたが助けてくれたんでしょ。
This has to be in the Ars Nova, right?
そう。ありがとう。あな なたは大丈夫？怪我はない？どうして私のことを助けてくれたの？私を守ろうとしてくれたから。そっか。あなたネピリムっていうの？グリモアがくれたの。グリモアってあなたのお父さん？わからない。私何も覚えてないの。でもグリモアは私のこと何でも知ってるって言ってた。何でも？うん、名前も思い出も全部。でも、それをもらうためには断書を集めないとダメなの。
Do a fetch quest for your memories. Scold.
怖いよ。私にはできないよ。大丈夫よ。何も怖くないわ。私がそばにいてあげるわ。必ず守ってあげるから。
Oh, let me look at that real quick. Huh. Is that... That reminds me of the scene we saw in episode 1, which was very shortly after the first time we spoke to the manifestation of Nephilim. Can't remember exactly.
守ってくれるの？え、あなたを一人にしないわ。それに私だけじゃない。兄さんも一緒よ。兄さん？そう、ジン・ウズキっていうの。変わり者で頑固だけど。
Sorry, give me a second.
ジン・ウズキっていうの。
How interesting that you're saying his name in that order. Wouldn't you be calling him Uzuki Jin in Japanese? I don't know.
変わり者で頑固だけど、本当はね、すごく優しいのよ。だから大丈夫。絶対に助けてあげるわ。うん。ジン、うずき。
He's gonna remember a different Uzuki. I lost consciousness while trying to comfort the girl who was in the Scientia vessel. When I awoke, I was in a strange place with her. Where was this? Who brought us here? One would say it's an old church. I had no idea. Next to me was a frightened little girl who held me tightly in her arms. To be reassuring, I tried easing my anxiety. Because of this, I didn't remark on her change. Yes, once she heard the name Jin Uzuki, her face changed slightly. Is Grimoire gonna be... Is he gonna be the father? Ijimerareru. Mistreated, bullied, you could say. This voice is super familiar.
そう僕は君に約束した。可愛い名前も温かい思い出も君の全てをプレゼントするとね。だがそのために君はレメゲトンの断章を手に入れなければならない。そして僕のいるこの場所まで来なければならないんだ。
そんなできない。
I kind of want to look up the voice actor, but I don't want to get accidentally spoiled.
大丈夫、できるさ。さあ、おいでネピリム。
何言ってるの？ふざけないで。
Did he come a moment too late? Immediately after he kidnapped her, my brother appeared before me. Once I saw his relieved face, all the anxiety contained inside me disappeared. Trying to hide my emotions, I told him everything that had happened, but suddenly a whole host of macrophages appeared before us, which is a kind of gnosis. That would have been a playable section in the game. Presumably. Look at her fucking dual-wielding LMGs.
そんなに私が恋しかった？ここは私が抑えるわ。早くグリモアを。しかし。西インボニスアミキティアエセノポテスト。
Fucking thanks for the subtitles. Let me hear that again.
西インボニスアミキティアエセノポテスト。
Something about power, potesta. Once more. I don't know Latin. I'm sorry. In an unexpected manner, doctors appeared to protect us. Why did she do that if we're enemies? I was still confused, so Jin explained to me that I was a prisoner in a section of the UMN called Arsenova controlled by Vector, that my consciousness was captured by Grimoire, and that to come help me, he had to ally himself with Scientia. Grimoire seems to have fled to the depths of this building. We went in pursuit of him. Holy Land, of course.
彼女が覚醒することができたのですからね。
私の仕事はまだ終わっていない。
この地でなおくだらぬ虚勢を張れるとは。いいでしょう。これから行われる奇跡の目撃者となってもらいましょう。
奇跡？
あなたたちはここが単なる機密情報の集積地だと思っているようですが。それは大きな勘違いだ。
ベクターによって作られたあなたのための檻、精神の牢獄だと言いたいのでしょ
う。牢獄だから勘違いなんですよ。言ったでしょう。この地は僕にとって聖地。ここに僕の全てが存在する。
あなたは自ら望んでここに留まっているのか。
理解してもらえるとは思っていませんよ。だからその意味を教えてあげようというのです。
I will teach you the meaning. I would have translated that as.
ふずき断章。やめてお願い。
Was that English? Stop? I don't know. So that's why she wanted the fragments. She told us that the fragments were indispensable for her to get her memory back. Her memories. Not knowing who she was, he was probably the only one who could tell her. But could she be happy if she got her memories back knowing that she was a reality born for experiments?
さあおいで。これで全てを手に入れることができるんだ。
Was there... Okay. It sounded like there were a lot more fragments around.
これは何？これが私？これが私の記憶？違うの。
これは。
これ。
Oh yeah, it is. I didn't think about that until she said it. But we have heard this.
ダメよ。この歌を歌わせてはダメ。
やがて歌は UMN へと広がり、全宇宙へと響き渡る。そして我が娘を、ネピリムを、この聖地へと呼び戻すことができる。
ネピリムがあなたの娘？これ私の記憶じゃないの？
このアルスノバは愛しき娘の記憶。君にはこの記憶のすべてを受け継いでもらう。そしてレメゲトンの使い、君に娘の魂を宿らせよう。君は希望のよりしろとなるのだ。
そんな、やめて、やめて。
Fascinating.
嫌がることはない。君は望みのものを手に入れたのだよ。
違う。こんなの私の記憶じゃない。
バカな。なぜ拒絶する？やめろ！頼む！ネピリムを、娘を受け入れてくれ。
こんなのは
嫌！なぜだ！なぜ拒む！
わからないの？彼女は他人の思い出が欲しいんじゃない。自分だけの心が欲しかったのよ。どうして気づいてあげられないの？
Which is what Nephilim said.
この世で最も尊い心を宿し、ネピリムとして生きていくことができるのだ。これほど幸せなことがあるか。
そんなのあなたの思い込みじゃない。
知ったふうな口を聞くな。ベクターの若造に利用され続けながら永劫の時を、娘を失った苦しみに耐え続けたのだ。
そんな。
ああ、僕の希望が消えてゆく。
Fragments that Grimoire planted in the girl united, and Lemegeton was finally complete. After the awakening of Lemegeton, she began to be swept away by the Gnosis. If she stayed in this state, she would emit the song throughout the UMN, which would quickly spread it and make it resonate throughout the universe. If this happened, our world would be completely overrun by the Gnosis. I'm just... give me a second to think out loud. Because we've been seeing Nephilim for a long time now. But she first appeared to Shion through the Zohar, which I assume is instrumental in the creation of the UMN. If Nephilim's... oh, fuck. God damn it. It's so complex. I'm trying to keep everything straight. And I'm still trying to connect back to Xenogears. What was the name of... Was it Ellie? I want to say. The girl in that game. I still kind of want to... Because they look so similar. I just kind of want to connect them somehow. I don't know. Why did this have to happen? She only wanted her memories. Grimar only wanted to revive his beloved daughter. The two of them only wanted to attain their wishes and nothing more. But in reality, their wishes mutually hurt them and only brought misfortune to other people. Shit's rough.
ネピリム。
ネピリム。
Oh shit. No, wait, that actually looks...
やっと戻ってきてくれたね。待っていた。ずっと待っていたんだ。おかえり、ネピリム。
あなたをここに縛り付けていたのはこの私への思いがあなたごめんなさい。
Oh man, this kind of hurts. To be continued. Quick break. You won't even notice I'm gone. Okay, I'm back. I just had to look at something, which is the fucking image of goddamn Ellie / Elleheim in the, what was it called, the Cadomony, or however you say that, in the Eye of the Zohar in Xenogears, and the image of Nephilim in the sort of tube thing in the last episode we saw, so reminiscent. I want to make the connection. I don't know if I can. If that's a thing that's allowed. Let's continue. This hurts a lot. Yeah, figures. God damn, this could easily have been a whole ass game. This could have been a whole game. The events of this missing year media. Hey, Cosmos. Version 3. The black smoke produced by Lemegeton surrounded the girl's body as she transformed into a Gnosis. The fragment of Lemegeton, while keeping her consciousness intact, nosified her. She lost her senses and we could no longer hear her voice. I was unable to contain my emotions and I began to lose control when Cosmos, equipped with her new exoskeleton, appeared to get us out of this mess. She protected us from the Gnosis attack. Seizing the opportunity, Jin turned toward the Gnosis while drawing his katana.
兄さん、何をするの？やめて、嘘でしょ？
これ以上あの子を苦しませるべきではない。
やめてよ。お願い、あの子と話がしたいの。兄さん。
行きますよ、コスモス。
And this would have been like, if not the final boss, a boss. Jin's katana cut the Gnosis in two, allowing the Maiden Grimoire to pull herself out. What remained of what remained, or what remained of her. I don't know. My brother was right. She hadn't completely nosified yet and could still be saved. Akira! I'm sorry, it just reminded me of that.
思い出してあげて。彼女のことを。
彼女のこと。These are my memories. Whose memories are these?
アルマテル？これ、あなたの名前なの？どうしてこんなところにいるの？大丈夫？
Did we see this scene in episode 1? These are the girls, Almadals.
宇月監察官、検体の意識覚醒しました。
Professor
あな
Uzuki.
た、誰？
レメゲトンの固着状態は
So,
これ以上水らひ博士を待たせるわけにいかんぞ。
今のところはうまく固定されているようです。しかし値が安定していません。
やむをえん。フェーズ6からやり直す。
それでは検体に負担が。
構わん。これ以上の遅延、彼らへの言い訳が立たん。
やめて。何をするの？いや、怖い。
this girl's really going through it.
いい子だ。おとなしく言うことを聞いてくれ。
大丈夫？誰？いや、怖い。
So is that Papa Uzuki then?
この子、怖がってる。
I was wondering if it was gonna be revealed that Grimoire was
ご息女が
somehow.
には入るなと言っただろう。
だって。
早く出て行きなさい。脳内に余計なゴミがあるとノイズが出る。投薬の量を増やしてみるか。さあ、おとなしくしてくれよ。
Shion Uzuki Shoujo something. So Uzuki, okay. So that's Papa Uzuki. They do have their names in the Western order. How interesting. Because they're very Japanese sounding names. Remembered everything. With the help of the girl's memories, my memory returned. Oh. On Milsha 14 years ago, I met her. And in her memory, was my father, So Uzuki. That's why she was scared of my brother's face. He looked a bit like our father, yeah. Figured as much. I don't know what kind of connection my father could have had with Vector, Joachim Misraio, and Grimoire. In any case, one thing was certain. I had memories in common with Almadal. Happened to the...
知ってる。私、この子のこと知ってる。アルマデル、しっかりして。アルマデル。アルマデル。そうよ、アルマデル。あなたの本当の名前よ。アルマデル。あなた、アルマデルって名前なのね。私はシオン。あなた、一人ぼっちなの？怖がらないで。私がそばにいてあげる。大丈夫。
Sorry.
今度いじめられたら、私が守ってあげ
Country
るね。
roads この道ずっと行けば
じゃあ
Sorry. He Toribochi. I can't hear it without going there.
私がそばにいてあげるわ。必ず守ってあげるから。シオン。そうよ、アルマデル。私よ。もう大丈夫よ。もう何も怖くないからね。だから歌を止めましょう、アルマデル。
Oh. Oh.
諦めちゃダメ、アルマデル。怖がらないで。約束したよね。私がついてるわ。どうして止められないの？ね、ピルム。ダメなの。私にもそんな力はない。
Oh, come on. She can't catch a fucking break, dude.
こちら側で生きることはできないわ。彼女が生き続けるにはこのままレメゲトを受け入れるしかない。でもそれを決めるのは彼女自身。そんな、どうして？止められないよ。このままだとシオンが。アルマデル、みんなシオンを助けたい。でも
She's gonna have to fucking give her life. Of course.
大丈夫。止められるわ。あなたがそれを望むのならもう分かっているはずよ。思い出して。思い出す。じゃあまたね。
At that instant, I was in accord with her consciousness, the memories she searched for. We only spent a few days together, but for her, they were happy moments, important memories. It was for those that she made her decision to protect us, with her memories.
れ私の中の暖かい
Atatakai. Warm?
止められる？でも寂しくない？そうね。それもあなたの、そしてあなたと出会った人の消えることのない思い出となるわ。私の思い出。
Oh, god damn it.
シオン、アルマデル。シオン、私にも思い出があったの。あのね、あなたが私にくれたのよ。アルマデル、あなた、今度また会うことができたら一緒に遊んでくれる？
Oh, fuck.
何言ってるの？もちろんよ。いつでも遊んであげるわ。
Oh, man.
楽しみにしてる。アルマデル、あなた何をする気なの？あのね、今度は私がシオンを守ってあげる。待って、アルマデル、そんなの嫌よ。ありがとう、シオン。やめて、アルマデル、お願いよ、やめてよ。兄さん、彼女を止めて。じゃあまたね。
Are we getting like a proper Xeno series ending song?
なんで、どうして彼女が。
Because it was the only way to save you.
拒絶したんです。我々を救うため、いや、お前との思い出を守るために。
You had to Mamoru your Kyokus. Oh, that's rough. And this is super important. It's crazy that this never came out in any way in the West.
アルマデルのための誰も訪れることのない永遠の墓標。
シオン、空間の崩壊が始まっています。早く脱出を。
Cosmos sounds the same in Japanese, roughly.
疲れたの。
Oh wow. How very Japanese.
兄さん。
シオン、あなたがこのまま諦めてアルマデルが喜ぶと思うのですか？
The old fucking Bright special.
教えてよ。アルマデルは一体何のために生まれてきたの？あの子の幸せって一体。
それは他人が推測で語れるような問題ではない。その答えを出せるのは。
Actually, come to think of it, that's not the only time that's happened in the Xeno extended Xeno franchise. I can't remember it before this, but I came to think of how Ryan smacks
あなたに会うことで
Charla slash
彼女は
Carno.
あの笑顔を手に入れることができた
Oh
の
well.
です。それは紛れもない事実ですよ。
兄さん
Kind of enjoying Shion's Japanese voice acting here. I don't think the English voice is like bad, for the most part at least. It's not the best though, I've heard. You... Wait, English. Hold up. I'm sure you picked up about as much as I did, but I'll just read here. 14 years ago, Joachim Israeli created the Udo system. The foundation of this system rested on the Gnosis calling program Lemegeton. Almadal was born to serve as a guinea pig for his research. Grimoire planted Nephilim's memories into Almadal's brain. Then, using Lemegeton, he tried to revive Nephilim's consciousness. However, Almadal rejected these memories and sacrificed herself to stop the song of Nephilim created by Lemegeton. She nosified and turned to salt. Which is, you know, very Sodom and Gomorrah. Almadal and Grimoire were lost as Ars Nova was destroyed. It was announced that this marked the end of the current Gnosis attacks. Officially, the one responsible, Grimoire Verum, was reported missing. The truth of these facts was mysteriously hidden by Vector. Other areas suffered the pressure of Vector. Julie of the subcommittee was transferred to a Federation military establishment. I also heard that the Foundation was in charge of the investigation was pursued for having connections to this incident. My discipline for having broke into... Oh shit, fuck. Sorry, I knocked over some shit on my desk. Into S Division was demotion and outright removal of my position as chief. The Cosmos project was frozen until a new chief was named. Had there been any other measures taken by Vector, I would still consider myself lucky. Effectively, even after my demotion, I could still continue to participate in Cosmos development, given that there are still things for First Division to do. But a loss of confidence in the UMN and Vector arose inside me, and this feeling wouldn't go away. I could never forget Almadal, which explains the position at the start of episode 3. That's why I passed in my resignation letter. It's probably something that Alan and the others will never forgive me for, but as long as I have bitterness towards Vector, it is doubtful that I could ever return. It will no longer be possible for me to see Cosmos. That sounded a lot like the fucking forest music from Super Mario RPG. That little flute bit. I have not thought about what would happen, but I intend to research the truth on the subject of my father and his part in the incidents 14 years ago, the UMN and Vector. Feb and Nephilim told me I must face my past. To be continued in Xenosaga episode 3. There's a bit more time left, and I want to see what's left at the end here. You hear what I mean? Okay, okay, give me a second. Oh, Park rolled me? Really? Interesting. Almado, Grimoire, Jin, Usuki. Where's Soul Usuki? Let me just real quick. Hashi Takaya. Because he sounded so familiar. He has a few, he's Toki and a few others in Fist of the North Star. Apparently he's the Japanese voice of Skullface in Metal Gear. Let me go a little bit further down the list here. See if there's anything I would recognize him from. He's in Dirty Pair. Saint Seiya, I haven't seen that one either. Oh, he's the police chief in fucking Mumindalen. I don't know where I recognize his voice from. I haven't seen Trigun either. I haven't seen Cowboy Bebop. I'm a bad weeb. There's a lot of anime I haven't seen. I've almost seen Samurai Champloo. I've been meaning to start it any day now. Man, I don't know. Maybe he just has... I don't know. Guilty Crown, Dragon Age. A bunch of Naruto. I haven't seen Naruto. Oh, is Lobov in Attack on Titan. A very memorable character. Oh, dude, he's fucking Slayer. That's what I know him from. He's in Exard. He's Slayer in Exard. There it goes. In Rev 2 at least. That checks out. Okay. Thanks. I needed that. Kazuura Yuki did the music for at least episode 2 and 3. I'm not sure about episode 1. Might have been... of Xenosaga. Xenosaga episode 2 and 3. Here's some Monolith soft stuff. Give me a second. Tetsuya. No, that's Takahashi Tetsuya is. Are they? There he is. But isn't his wife also involved in these games? I forget. But man, this should have been a whole ass video game. This is crazy going from episode 2 to episode 3 without this. I'm glad. So how far have I gotten in episode 3? I've gotten far enough. I've gotten to the first save point in the game. Like the very first save point. That's how far I've gotten there. To be continued in episode 3. There we go. Yeah, so thanks again to, let me double check your name, Saber Hazari, which I'm still not sure if I'm saying correctly, but I hope I am, for enlightening me of the existence of this. So this is gonna be a bit of a mess, because I'm thinking I edit this together into a sort of episode 0 of the Xenosaga 3 Let's Play. But then episode 1 is gonna start with me having no knowledge of this, and then I'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Just know that starting up the very beginning of episode 3, I haven't seen this yet, but I barely make any way into it before I go back in time and do this. man, there was a whole lot of plot and character there. A lot. Man, the Xenosaga games, the story is so complex. Like, I like to think I'm pretty good at keeping a lot of stuff in my head and like keeping track of everything when it comes to storytelling. I've been having troubles with the Xenosaga games in the past. I'm gonna try and remember all of this. Luckily, episode 3, unlike episode 2, has a robust database feature, which is a godsend that I will be diving back into repeatedly to understand what the hell is going on. I hope you will join me for actually playing Xenosaga 3, episode 3. This has been interesting and a bit emotional there. Poor Almadel. She really couldn't catch a break. I will see you in Xenosaga episode 3. Goodbye.